Hey, Ray, hand me that AR.
You are now listening to Off the Rip.
Oh snap, we in OT, baby. We in OT, big money. Man, we got a legend in the building.
What's
we got
happening,
Corey
man?
Frazier.
Welcome. Appreciate it.
Legendary coach right here, y'all.
Yes, sir. Welcome to OTE, man.
Man, we appreciate y'all having
sir.
us.
Yes, sir.
What's you calling? Can we get a tour, coach?
Man, let's do it. Right down this way. Let's go. So we're going to enter what we call our hype hall. In our hype hall is a lot of history of what we do in overtime basketball, mainly with OTE. So we'll look at different this is where the starting phase is up. I was actually here when all of this was actually being developed. So when I took the job, we didn't even have this. None of this was here. Our office is across the street, and we used to train over at Core 4. So this is kind of the layout of what all this ended up looking like once it got here. So I actually took a job without a building.
Got you.
Great.
So how did they contact you? Like, what made them want Corey Frazier to be a part of their staff?
Man, blessings, man. I knew a couple guys here, Kevin Ollie, Dave Lato. Kevin Ollie, who coached at UConn basketball, legend in itself, won national championships. Dave Lato was there with UConn as well. Tim Fuller was the guy who actually made the call. It was the true story. People don't know this. I was coaching here in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
Memorial Day weekend, 4.5 years ago. Tim Fuller meets me in St. Louis. I'm just getting off the plane from coaching here in Atlanta, and they called. Was like, "Hey, we're doing this in overtime." I didn't think it was really going to be something this big, but
And it came in this blue.
this is what happened, man. This is what happened. So here I am, right?
Because this is legendary, honestly. Y'all really making an impact, not just for the city of Atlanta, but I would say for the whole country. People from overseas coming over here. So y'all doing y'all thing, honestly. I just thank God I just get a piece of the action, honestly.
For sure.
I would have never thought.
Nah, man. So this is primarily what it is. So these are a list of all our teams. We got the Diamond Doves in our league this year. You got Rolling Loud. You got the Blue Checks. You got City Reapers, RWE, of course. You got Jelly Fam. You got Cold Hearts. You got the Young Dreamers, man. So we added a new team to the league this year called Fear God. You'll see their picture down at the end. But I'm telling you guys about One Shot. This is part of our documentary series. So if y'all get a chance, go check it out. One Shot is live on Prime right now, both seasons 1 and season 2. So
that's
both live right now. Yep.
Now, what you call them? Everybody know you originally, I want to say, you're from St. Louis, right? But you went to a high school on that, I would say, what was the name of the high school on the outskirts?
I'm from Charleston High School.
Charleston High School.
Southeast Missouri.
Southeast Missouri.
We are in the runnings. I think there's only 3 teams that have a lot of state championships. It's us, Scott County Central, and Vashon High School. So we're in that running with those 3 high schools with the most state championships.
So how was your upbringing in Southeast Missouri?
We're a basketball town, man. If anybody that's familiar with basketball, the Frazier name is a household name in Southeast Missouri. So I grew up on a basketball court, pretty much. Grew up on a basketball court. So this is our practice courts. This is where all the magic happens. People only get the chance to see what we do on Friday nights and Saturdays, but this is where all the magic happens. And on this court right here, man, these kids have the opportunity to train at least 3 times a day, and that's 7 days a week if they want it. So guys are living in here every single day. This is a pro facility. A lot of pro facilities can't even offer this.
Now, how is it getting kids in the gym? They get in here.
You do not have to beg a kid to come in here.
Okay.
These kids know what they signed up for. So you kind of forego your high school season and win a state championship to come here and train to get ready for either college or being.
Got you. So are y'all recruiting kids, or are they reaching out, or is it a little bit of vice versa?
We recruit kids. Recruit kids. We get a lot of people reaching out, but because we can't take everybody. So for us, the main thing for us to find a kid who's the best fit for us and the best fit for for themselves. So we just got to make sure that it's a good marriage, we call it.
So when you looking for a kid, what you honestly like looking for in them? Like what's your things that you on your list where it's like, I need him to have this and that?
My list can be pretty tough, man. My list can be pretty tough.
Appreciate you.
Get this guys out of here. See y'all later. See you later, man. See you later. All right. Our biggest thing is, for me, we're looking for the kids who can do it on the court, who can be in front of a camera, but also serious about your academics too as well. So you got to be all-around player to get it. Got to be all-around player.
I feel that. So you said, I ain't never heard nobody really say do it on camera. So is camera like what you call them when you know that it's official? If they not stage fright, that mean it's like something special?
You got to adjust no matter what. Even if you've been in front of cameras like all the time, you got a camera like with you all the time too as well.
Gotcha.
Because we are filming consistently because they don't want to miss any moment because
Gotcha.
you don't know what could happen to this kid in the next 5 years. We're always telling the kid's story, so you got to be able to adjust to that. On the court on your bad days, you got to be ready to deal with the camera. So everybody want to be on camera when things are going bad.
Gotcha.
I mean, going good, but when it's going bad, you got to be able to deal with that too. So
Gotcha.
the camera's part of the whole business.
Okay.
You signed up for it when you sign your contract. It's part of being on camera.
No, I feel you on that.
Yep.
I feel you on that, Coach.
So we're gonna take the next step. We're gonna show y'all this weight room is probably like no other when it comes to high school athletes. Y'all gonna step in. This is our
What's up, boss? How you
training
doing?
facility for weights.
Oh yeah, this looking nice.
Turn it down just a little bit.
Oh nah, Coach, I got something special right here.
Yeah, it's a little different, man. Got it. Oh. See, I'm a rookie with this thing on. He's gonna turn it down for us.
You getting some work in, man?
Yeah. Jeremiah.
How old are you? Man,
Yep.
my name's Stav, boss. Nice to meet you.
Yep. California kid. Where you from? Oakland kid. So this is our weight room, man. I like to brag on this part because everybody that helps our kids in here all come from the NBA. So they have a different level of expertise when it comes to helping kids get ready for the next level in terms of training their bodies, the nutrition that goes behind the whole nine. So our staff does a phenomenal job when it comes to getting these guys ready.
Now, how many teams did you say that's on staff? That's in the program here?
So we got 30 total kids in the program.
In the
in-house. We have 3 teams.
Three
in-house.
teams?
Yep.
Okay.
we
Oh,
got-
so everybody get their own opportunity to get in
get
here.
it.
It's not clogged up.
No,
Okay.
No. It's
Gotcha.
a rotating schedule. Guys know when they're supposed to be here. Guys
Okay.
know when they're supposed to be on the court. The whole nine. Yep.
Oh no, this is legit,
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah,
Like
man. Yeah.
this one of them ones.
Yes.
I ain't gonna fake
Don't get
it.
your photos in, brother.
Got to. You know I got to, Coach.
Yeah.
Nah, this is different.
My favorite quote in this building is right there, man. I don't think people know that enough.
It ain't just about basketball. No, that's different. No, that's different.
Oh yeah. Got the gravity machine over there, the whole nine. So ain't no, you get hurt, you still got to work out.
What you feel about kids trying to play injured and stuff like that, or like just how you feel about like injuries and stuff, Coach? Be real.
I think the biggest thing, even for us here, man, what I like about our team, our HPD team does a phenomenal job in making sure there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. You know what I'm saying? So guys get hurt or what have you, they'll make sure they put you through the test to make sure you are hurt.
Gotcha.
Our doctors come in, they see you, but they go through a series of tests before we even let them get back into active play.
Because
So
I know y'all got A1 training staff here.
our training staff is off the charts.
Okay.
I would put it up against anybody in the country when it comes to preparing athletes. So whether it's, like I said, our staff is mainly from the NBA, so these guys know what they're doing now.
Gotcha.
They know what they're
Gotcha.
doing. Yep.
I salute this. I love this right here.
Oh yeah, this is a little different, man.
And they can see you right in the weight room right here too.
I see them every day.
Oh, that's smooth.
Yep,
There's
yep,
no
yep.
iron team. No, that's legit. Oh, that's beautiful.
So I'm gonna take you next to where the guys get a chance to eat, lounge, or whatever you want to call it. This is a space for what they doing here, man.
Oh no, this is smooth, Coach.
Yep, y'all come on in. So we have chefs that prepare foods for the guys. So they get breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Okay.
Every single day. They don't eat anything that's, I would say, processed is all cooked for them.
Gotcha.
So
Oh,
somebody's
that's
cooking
smooth.
for them all day long. So this is the area where they get to do that. And you, of course, you got your PlayStations and all this stuff in
Gotcha.
here. So this is the downtime, off hours. There's always reminders on the wall what you need to be putting in your body. So they do a really good job of keeping up with that stuff with these
Now,
guys.
how you feel about like nutrition and stuff like that? Are you big on it, or like
I am.
Are you one of them guys like Ocho Cinco that don't care? Or you?
Everybody ain't Ocho Cinco. So especially the younger you are, the more you need to be conscious of what you put in your
Gotcha.
body. The guys learn real quick. They always try to sneak off. They go get some Chick-fil-A. We'll know in practice what you put in your body because you don't
Gotcha.
produce and you don't put out the same. But if you follow the meal plans, direct T, you'll get the best performance out
Gotcha.
of yourself. So
I feel
it's
you on
legit when
that.
it comes to that, man.
I feel you on that.
But yeah, this is where they set up shop, get food, brother.
Wow, this is beautiful right
Yep.
here. This is where they need to be at. This is where every kid needs to be.
I don't have access to our hydro rooms, but we got real big hot and cold tubs in here. This is our film room. The moment of truth is what we call it. This is where what they say, the eye in the sky don't lie.
Don't tell me you be cursing folks out in here, Coach.
You know what we do? We don't have to, because the biggest thing is when you see yourself on camera, I don't have to say too much, but you get to correct things that you do. So with our film stuff, our guys, every workout is filmed, every practice is filmed. Believe it or not, when I was just working with that stuff is all filmed all day long. So we get to look at what you're doing on film. And it's not just from games, it's just practice. Like I'm looking at your shooting form, looking at your sequence of your shot. I'm looking at how you pass in the basketball. We do a lot of chalk talk. That's where we got 2 of them in here. So we allow our guys to kind of dictate and dialect, give us dialect on what they want to focus on in terms of their plan. Each kid that comes in here has their own tailor-made basketball training plan. So my workout's not going to look like yours. We might play the same position, but I might have some things to my game that you don't have. And you might be better at certain things that I'm not. So we do a really good job of understanding you as a player, and we allow you input. So we allow you input, you got to listen to what we got to say too.
Who input wins at the end of the day, Coach? Let's be real.
I win, no matter what. I win.
Frazier said he wins.
I've been in the game long enough to know how to kind of, dictate what the conversation should look like. So you turn that off for me.
Coach, do it, Coach.
Yep, you should. This is our barber shop. Can't just play good, you got to look good too. You're going to be on camera, man.
Coach said you can't just play good, you got to look good too.
Got to look good too.
So do they got to pay for these barbers, or this all in-house?
Yeah, barbers come in to cut their hair, and so the kids get paid. So you got to learn how to take care of yourself, and you got to pay for it.
So you say they get paid. I seen online, I think, is it the 100 a year I was hearing?
Can't speak on what the numbers look like, but I can tell you, these kids ain't hungry. They eat. They eat well. Yeah.
Now, tell me this. Have you ever had any kids that had to come to you be like, Coach, I need a few dollars, or I'm I done blew all my money and did some bull crap?
Nah.
So y'all teach them like financial responsibilities?
Financial literacy is one of the things that these kids learn. They learn how to do finance. They understand the business of basketball. They understand how to build a brand. A lot of people are not going to show you how to build a brand. So we're always trying to educate these guys on what you need to be working on in terms of furthering your career, but not what's life after basketball. What are you going to do?
Got you.
So we're always doing that.
Now, do you preach that on a daily, like life after basketball?
I preach that consistently like I'm a pastor, man. You got to have something to fall back on, man. You got to have something to fall back on.
Now, in your, that door ain't closed all the way, Coach?
Ain't nobody going to go in there. That's the last place they want to be, man.
What you call them, and from your, I would say from your perspective, how many kids you think, if you got all your teams, you say you got 30 guys in this program, how many guys you think make it a year from your program? So our recent history, I think we got 8-9 guys that are playing in the NBA right now currently. We have 4 lottery picks in the last 2 years. And we had the Twins were number, 3 and 4 and 5. Then we had Alex Sarr and what's his name? They play with Minnesota right now. Going blank on his name, God dog. You talking about the dude with the braids?
Yes, with the braids. So those 4 were lottery picks in it.
And I heard you was on the Twins' main trainer.
Yes, I did all of their pre-draft and all this stuff.
Okay.
So
how was that feeling?
It was cool, man. The biggest thing is making sure that I prepared them the right way.
Gotcha.
And making sure they understood this is what you're going to do versus this is what you want to do. So you gotta make sure that stuff makes sense.
And what was something that like you used to like drive them to like their fullest business, or what? Because like I feel like there was a lot of hype around them getting drafted lottery. What was it that you kind of pushed them in ways to make them get to their fullest potential?
With those guys, because they're really mentally locked in, they're probably driven. And I don't say this lightly. There's not a lot of kids that are that mature at that age, but they have the mindset of a Kobe and a Michael in terms of this is what I see. I'm tunnel vision. We did a lot of research with the teams that could potentially draft, and we went through every single workout of what the system would look like, how they would play in the system the whole night with those guys. And that's what really got us locked into those.
Gotcha. And one thing I do love, I see, you know what I mean, because one thing I do love about y'all social media, y'all make sure people feel like they involved, I would say, because I feel like just looking at it, I feel like I get a good eye viewpoint of everything that's going on. And it seems like y'all built that relationship where they coming back
Yeah.
to Atlanta to work out with y'all, not just them, but like other pros. And y'all got a lot of people that's never been a part of OTE at all. People from St. Louis, around the country, overseas, that's just coming and just really trying to get reps in, especially from you, Coach. So that's why I salute you.
Appreciate
big time.
it, man. It's a different experience, though, man. I'm blessed to be here because this is the ground floor for me with any kid that's trying to get to the next level.
Gotcha.
So if I have a chance to help, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's probably part of the reason why God has not let me go on to the collegiate and the high school level, because this is where I belong.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Is we gonna see you one day there though?
Shit,
What's
if that check right, yeah. That check right, yeah. I'm never gonna say never, but right now it's not. I haven't said that, you know, this is somewhere I want to be right now. I'm really looking at it from not a financial gain, but a fit. Like, I want to make sure I'm in the right place so I can continue to learn and I can continue to grow as a coach. So I ain't gonna say no.
I feel that, Coach. What you call him? And just we speaking on collegiate, a lot of people don't know we got a SLU legend here,
Yeah,
man.
man.
What you call him?
Bills.
One of them people that done led SLU to the NCAA tournament. So what you call him? How was that feeling, just being in college, being a big time star, just putting on for the city?
Man.
I would say, and just really, I would say represent St. Louis in a major way. How was that feeling?
Surreal. It's surreal because the crazy thing, my last college basketball game was in this city.
Okay.
We played against Kentucky right here at the Georgia Dome, and Kentucky went on to win a national championship. But this was the last place I played my college basketball day.
And I know y'all lost second round to Kentucky. How was it just being on the same court with just some of the best people, you know what I mean, to ever play basketball? I would say just as a, you know what I mean, as a player, how was that feeling?
Crazy, because you see it on TV, then you get a chance to experience it, and it's everything that you see on TV, because your team, your support, them people are there. Like, these people crying after losses and stuff like that. So you really kind of, you know, take it for granted that you're just out here playing, but you're actually playing for other people too as well. So it's a surreal feeling.
No, I think I was reading too that Mizzou really wanted you bad, right? I heard it was between like Mizzou and SLU. Is that true?
That was true. Actually, true story, I committed to Alabama. I decommitted from Alabama when they had a kid that they were recruiting. It was crazy. One of the coaches that recruited me from Alabama is not Tennessee and recruited a kid here.
Gotcha.
So we were talking about that whole thing and how I actually was going to Alabama. But then my second choice was St. Louis U, because I had one of my friends from Charleston was there on the team. Mizzou was actually my last choice.
Gotcha.
I really didn't want to go to Mizzou because my uncle and cousin already played there, so
Gotcha.
I just want to do my own thing.
I got you.
It worked out.
And it definitely did, because I feel like at SLU, you know what I mean? I feel like you still known to this day for everything you done did. And you still making your mark to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Still so much room to grow and so much room to become something even better. So it's definitely just amazing to see.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm like I said, I'm blessed to be here and blessed to be able to do it. But you know, we're here. So this is our academic space. So our kids do go to school,
Gotcha.
believe it or not, because I know those people are like, oh, they just going to play basketball. But our kids are getting educated.
Okay.
Our people here, they do a phenomenal job in terms of getting these guys ready. And the things that, you know, our pillars of understanding. When you get to school, you ain't just going to play basketball.
Gotcha.
You need to understand about your money. You need to understand about your brand, but also you got to understand, you know, that I have to have this so I can get that.
Gotcha.
So where you playing, the ball stop bouncing one day.
Now I was hearing too. I think this is really good. I was hearing I had like one teacher per like four kids.
4 to 5 kids, yeah.
Now that's amazing right there, because they get more of like a personal touch with a teacher. Now, how is that? Are they learning more, I would say, than an average kid? Would you say?
So I would say it's probably, with you getting the intimacy with working with a teacher direct, I would say they're probably learning a little bit more, because you get to work through your mistakes. In a class of 10 or 12 kids, really the teacher's only talking to the kids that's listening.
Gotcha.
Here, if I ain't listening, I can walk up to you and I can still be able to teach the other 4, but I can get my time with you too as well.
Gotcha.
So, and our academic days are, you know, from like, kids go to school for about 3.5, 4 hours a day. But the morning time from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30, they on courts.
Got you. Now, do you ever have a teacher like hit you up, be like, this kid on BS, you need to
I walk
talk
through.
to him? Okay.
I don't wait. My staff and myself, we are literally, because it's part of the reason why academics is here. We walk right through here to make sure. So we don't wait on.
Okay.
And then we'll follow up with like, hey, let us know whatever.
Gotcha.
Right? So, but we have a great relationship with our staff here. So.
And when you do get that one kid that's not fully applying himself, how do you approach that?
It's about what you want. It's about your family. And I always throw that at them. Like, you know, if you're here to try to feed your family, you're trying to make the most out of your life for your family, then how you gonna feed them if you slack it? So it don't work both ways. You can't slack and expect to feed your family. Like, and then at the end of the day, you know, you happen to get married, you get a girlfriend. Women these days don't want broke men.
Let's be real. Hey, speak the truth, Coach.
So that's what it is. So you got to put that stuff in perspective like that. We laugh it off, but at the end of the day, man, it's real.
No, real talk. Yeah. And I see some of your stuff, like on social media and stuff, and how hard, and you keep it real, and I love that too, because you don't, I feel like, sugarcoat a lot of stuff. How like a lot of people, they don't really tell the real, because I was having this argument, I would say like a week or two ago, and real, especially I would say for black men, we don't get time to like have bad days. No. It's a everyday process. You know what I mean? No matter what happens in your personal life, you got to come do a job day after day after day. Right. And God forbid something happens, but they don't care. You know what I mean?
We have to max out. If we don't max out, somebody else gets ahead. But the worst feeling is somebody else raising your kids too as well.
Come on.
So I'd rather let me go out and do all the groundwork. And I'm not satisfied. So my thing is to be the best version of myself and my kids and my family. And that's it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna move. We're gonna go up to the show court, man.
Okay.
Go up to the next level.
Hey man, we back. What you call it? We settled down. We did a tour. OTE. We appreciate you, Coach Frazier, just letting us just see the facility, just see how y'all work on the day. When I say y'all done build something from the ground up, I feel like it's truly special, and there's something that the kids need. I salute y'all in a major way, because this is big time right here.
I'm sure OTE will be grateful to hear that. So, man, I'm just blessed to have you guys here, man, and be able to talk to the home team. So excited about that.
I feel that. So before we go any further, Coach, while we was walking, I feel like we still didn't get a really touch on like who Corey Frazier is. Can you just speak on your upbringing and just your life in general? Because at the end of the day, this podcast is about you. So we just want to call the story, your story.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm from Southeast Missouri, Charleston. I don't want to just keep saying it. We call it the Boot Hill, but I come from a basketball town, a basketball family, man. So, you know, when I was in Charleston, man, my upbringing, my uncle Ricky Frazier, everybody that's a little bit older they'll know who that is. He's a legend in Mizzou. Got drafted second round by Chicago Bulls. I got another cousin, Lamont Frazier, that played at University of Missouri too as well. And I was the third one that was coming through, decided, you know what, I want to do something different. So that took me to St. Louis. And the reason why I went to St. Louis, the guys I used to play for the St. Louis Eagles. So as I was coming up from the Boot Hill, Rich Gray, Mr. Golden, Ron Golden, and Roy Pierce was the guys that came and got me out of Southeast Missouri and to really give me the opportunities to look at some of the schools that was recruiting me and stuff. So I'm thankful for the St. Louis Eagles. So that's how I ended up making a connection with St. Louis and St. Louis University.
He was a player at first and then a coach.
I was a player. I played.
You used to play with on the St. Louis.
So St. Louis Eagles, I had Jahadi White.
Okay.
Yeah, Jahadi White, still a good friend of mine. Demetrius Alexander, they call him Sticks. Demetrius actually, him and Jahadi both were two guys that played in the NBA that played on that team. So got a chance to play with those guys. Kenan Bush, a bunch of guys from like Luther North, Cardinal Ritter. So Chris Carrawell, Lauren Woods were like the little bros coming up at the time. So I actually played for the program, and ended up coaching for the program.
Got you, guys.
Yep.
So, Coach, it's just crazy that you got to be a player and the coach for the St. Louis Eagles that's now called Bradville Elite.
Yep.
How was it becoming a coach? How did you get connected in? Like, I know you already played for them, but like, what brought you into coaching?
So when I was finishing up at St. Louis University at that time, they had like a program for guys who were, I went overseas and played for a year and come back. The main thing they wanted me to do was like something to give back to the community. So I started coaching at a little program, a little school over in Bayton called Our Lady of the Holy Cross. And so that was my first taste of coaching basketball. From there, Bob Hebrank, who was at Clayton High School at the time, asked me to come over there. Rich Grier was St. Louis U head coach back in the day. He was the athletic director. So they invited me to come coach freshman basketball at Clayton High School. I left Clayton after that year. Bob Hebring becomes the athletic director at Maplewood High School. I went to Maplewood High School with Bob. It was my first head coaching job on the varsity level.
Okay.
So spent 17 years at Maplewood High School, won two state championships.
Brighton Hobbs went there, right?
Brighton Hobbs.
Did you get to coach Brighton Hobbs?
Brighton Hobbs and Brian Allen were on my first two state championships.
Okay. Ooh.
So
you coached some killers.
I had arguably the best backcourt in St. Louis during that time.
Hey, shout out Brighton Hobbs, ISO Hole, man.
ISO.
Was one of the first, I would feel like, hoop legends to be on our podcast. So, big shout out to him.
Yeah.
That's major, coach.
Yeah, man. So yeah, having Hobbs and Brian Allen on the team, man, you don't get a backcourt like that. And them dudes was killers back then. So imagine how they are now. They were that good back then too as well. So salute to those dudes, man.
No, for real, that's special, coach. So you went from Maplewood, and then how was you played for them? So I want to keep on saying that. But when did you start coaching for the Eagles?
So I started coaching for the Eagles probably in 2006, 7. So around that time. So Drew Hanlon was on that team. Scott Suggs, Jesse Perry, and all them. So that was my first year.
Shout out Scott Suggs.
Scott Suggs, Jesse Perry, and all. That was my first AAU team with St. Louis Eagles. Okay. All 15 years.
Now Scott Suggs, I hope I'm not wrong. He went to Hazel Central, right?
Scott Suggs went to Washington High School.
Washington High School. Okay.
Yeah, Scott Suggs won.
Got you. That's big time right there.
So yeah, that was my first group, man.
And just over the years, you won pieces of him. I hope I'm not wrong with Tatum, right?
We did not. We made it to the championship, and we lost.
So Jordan Barnes, the squad he was on, didn't win.
So the people only remember that shot. That was the semifinal game.
Oh, that wasn't the championship game?
That was not championship game. And I'm so glad don't nobody know that wasn't a championship game.
Got you. Because a lot of people think that's championship game?
But let them keep thinking that. We're going to leave that right there.
I'm full because I ain't going to fake it. I feel like the whole St. Louis thought y'all won that day.
Hey, we celebrated that. And right after that game, this is when they changed the rules. Normally you would play the championship game the next day. Now you play the next day. But we played the semifinal game. Jason Tatum makes his announcement that he's going to do. And now we got to play the championship game. Georgia Stars were loaded. And so we played Georgia Stars in the championship game later that day. And we got beat by 30.
Got you.
It's okay, though. You know, it's all.
Got you. Now, how was it, I would say, coaching AAU on such a high level, at the highest level, and just being around so many guys that's NBA ready and pros, and just kind of putting that together all into one team?
It's tough, but man, I had the best teachers. Rich Gray, like I said, Ron Gold, Mr. Pierce were my mentors, and understanding that I can't coach them like I coach my high school team.
Gotcha.
So I had to understand how to manage talent and manage, I'm gonna say egos at the time, but getting them to mesh and blend together. But what people don't know is, well, like I say, when I had Jason Tatum and all those guys, I had those guys when they were younger. So I coached them. We used to have a program with myself, Ryan Johnson, who's at Cardinal Ritter right now, and Justin Tatum, Jason's dad. We had coached those guys already. So we already kind of had a developed a relationship. Drew and Scott, we kind of knew those kids already, so we already developed a relationship. So when I got a chance to coach those guys when they were older, it just made more sense to understand, okay, I know who you are. I know who you are as a player, but I also had to go study them and see them what they were doing at their high schools to understand how they were going to fit.
Gotcha.
And it's not an easy task to put talented kids on a team for a short period of time to go play and say, okay, let's go be successful.
Gotcha.
And the mission the whole time was helping these guys get scholarships, not win.
Got you. Now, from your eyes as somebody that's, I would say, a legendary coach and as somebody that's truly experienced, what's the biggest difference from high school basketball, school basketball, to AAU?
Time. High school, I get to be with you every single day. I got, 6 or 7 months with you during the day. AAU got 2.5 months and figure it out. So you get more time. So, but then you have really talented kids. Just because they're talented don't mean that they're mentally ready to play with other really good kids. So it's kind of like a small test to them playing collegiate basketball.
Gotcha.
And they kind of they get a grasp and they get a high view of, all right, am I ready to play with somebody good, or do I have work to do? Because now you become a role player versus the main guy. And
now dealing with the parents too. How is that at times when the kid's not getting playing time? How is that dealing with the parents, especially in the 21st century that we call it? How is that for you?
I deal with the parents early. Like, I don't know how other coaches do it, but for me, you know, I'm day one. We're going to have this discussion. This is the only discussion we're going to have. Not that I don't feel like I'm too good to talk to parents, but I kind of set the tone of what this is going to look like. Trust the process. Your son is going to struggle, so let it play out, and just be a parent. Like, support him in any way you can from the parent goggles. Don't try to support him and be the Monday morning quarterback, as we call it. Don't do that. Allow me to develop your son on the court and allow me to coach your son.
Gotcha.
If you can't do those two things, then you're probably not gonna be able to play for them.
Gotcha. Now, do you figure this out early? Like you said, coach them early. Does that determine if, like, this say the program like OTE or RWE, does that determine if they're gonna come here?
It could be a factor into it, but not a major factor into it, because at the end of the day, whatever kids come through that door, I got to coach them, I got to train them. So if they're not ready when they get here, I'm prepared for, all right, let me figure out how to get you better.
Got you. Now, I want to now step back into the OT and the RWE world. How did they come and find you? Can you speak on that?
Yeah, Tim Fuller. Tim Fuller was the guy who made the phone call. Kevin Ollie, Dave Lato, and Brandon Williams were the guys who put the icing on the cake for me, and that's how he found. So Tim Fuller saw me coaching down here in Atlanta, and called me Monday morning when we made it back from Memorial Day weekend tournament here in Atlanta. So it's ironic that I end up back here coaching in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So Tim Fuller was the guy who called me to come coach.
Now, was it iffy? Because I know you got a family too. Was it like that? Because it's a life change. Because I feel like a majority of your life you stayed in Missouri, right?
Right.
So, like, how was it? What was your emotions? What was your thought process on making this dramatic, I'm not going to say dramatic, but major move?
It was major and dramatic.
Okay.
I would say the reason why I say that is because I never thought I was going to leave St. Louis. I was content with coaching high school basketball, wanted to coach collegiately, but I didn't think that I was going to be doing it that quick. When it came, the offer came, and the things that they were talking about in development, and I was like, man, this is a perfect chance for me to just go work on development. I don't have to coach. I got here, Kevin Ollie was like, oh, you coach. So it kind of put me right back into what I was doing in St. Louis, man. But that was kind of the driving force behind it. And KO he's probably one of the best mentors that I have right now. Like, he's one of the best dudes I'm talking about, like, straightforward about what it is, what it's not. Man, I love that dude.
Got you. Now, when you recruit, where do you think the best hoopers come from? Like, what city do you look into?
St. Louis, and I'm saying in St. Louis. I wish somebody would argue with me on that. We got more pros in all of our sports than anybody else in the country.
Is that a fact?
That is a fact. Look it up.
Okay.
St. Louis has more pros, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, all combined. St. Louis has the most pros.
Got you. I ain't gonna fake it. I'm all St. Louis. What you call it? I can't wait to go look that up because I didn't even know that. I learned something new.
Gotta look it up.
So what does a St. Louis guy bring that just we both from St. Louis? What do them cats bring that's just different from any other city in America?
I just think
even overseas. I know y'all crew overseas as well.
I think St. Louis guys just cut from a different cloth. I think the mind and the determination. We don't have a major media market. People don't get to see us all the time. So we get a chance to show out, we show up. And that's why I love our motto is what show me state. We're gonna show your ass.
I love it, Coach, for real. And I salute that, honestly, because I feel like sometimes I would say we get a bad rep sometimes how the city comes about. But I feel like more than anything, I feel like we're true dogs and people are going to compete. And like I seen something the other day was like sometimes St. Louis like delusional, but not like in a bad way.
Right.
Like sometimes it can be like in a good way where we don't care. Like it was something about like Chinese food. Like at the end of the day, we say our Chinese food,
Chinese food.
Better than China. But like it's a good type of delusional. And sometimes we might not be the best on the court for sure, but we gonna compete.
Right.
Like it don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
It's folks that say they better than Tatum, knowing they not. They're not saying they better than Tatum, but like they gonna say they can get a bucket on knowing they can't get no bucket on Tatum, but they gonna compete and be dogs. So like that's one thing I just love about St. Louis is people will go hard no matter what. I feel like it's certain stuff that folks do gotta fix if we gonna be real about it. Because at the end of the day, we gotta hold ourselves accountable too. Well, you know what I mean? Minor tweaks is like I would say I feel like it takes a good coach though to mold and just make them become a man because there's a lot of good people that come out of St. Louis and has done a lot of big things, you know what I mean? So it's just having the right, I would say, infrastructure and role models around you.
Right.
So
you just gotta be patient with the process, man. And a lot of people don't understand that, but you also gotta be passionate about helping young people. If you're not passionate about helping young people and you're doing it for clout, social media, if you're doing it to get a check, I know you got to feed your family, but that can't be the main reason why you do it. Because if you do it all for all the other reasons, your check is going to come. The clout's going to come. All this stuff is going to come. So you got to put the main thing, and that is helping young people.
Nah, that's real, Coach. Now, I want to speak on this, too, because I know you've seen the rule or whatever where you can go 2 years JUCO and then still have your 4 years. So I don't know how you feel about this, because some people have said high school and like prep schools or whatever will start becoming like, I'm not going to say extinct, but they'll stop. Kids will probably just go straight JUCO because that's where coaches look first. How do you feel about this new rule?
For me, it stops the holdbacks.
Okay.
I think you kind of eliminate that. The prep schools ain't going nowhere. So that's the first and foremost thing. But it would stop a lot of the holdbacks guys going and say, all right, I'm going to hold my kid back to come in this class. No, just go ahead and leave. Go to JUCO, you get through. You're still going to get your 4 years, whatever. So, I mean, essentially, you get, 4 years of high school, fifth, maybe, 2 years of JUCO. And then you get, 4 years to play collegiate basketball. You got time to get to the pro. So if you can't get it right between that time, then I don't know what to tell you. This ain't for you. But you got time.
Should kids be in school that long?
Some of them need to be. If I'm being honest, I think a lot of kids need the opportunity to grow and develop and mature. There's a lot of guys that are playing in the NBA are not mature enough to handle being in the NBA. There's a lot of guys in college some guys who classified up because they're chasing, everybody chasing the money now, that probably need to be in high school a little bit longer so you can mature and develop your body. Your body's not ready and your game is not ready. The mindset has to change of the approach of what you're trying to get done, because if you look at it, most of the guys that are going into the NBA, going to college, they're coming in to play with other good players. You're not going to be the best player on your team forever unless you just one of those ones. And there ain't a lot of those ones. It's a small percentage of those guys who are just that good. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they elite. So you got superstars.
Now, what's your biggest goal individually for Corey Frazier, as being a coach for OTN RWE? What do you look at for yourself personally that you try to strive and do well at every day?
This coming to OTE has been a major step in general for me. I don't know what God has for me at the next level, whether it's collegiately or whether it's the NBA, but right now I'm just gonna ride this wave, man, crazy ride wave RW. So I'm just gonna ride it out to see what's next, man. And if something comes along that's good for me and my family, then I'm gonna take a look at it. But for right now, I'm tunnel vision in what I'm doing right now. And my job is not done here. And you gotta tell me when.
Got you. And just coach, just the player development side of everything. What do you try to strive in every day as well, just to get these players to the next level? What do you look at into like increasing their game and maxing them out to the full potential?
And gotta know them. I gotta meet them halfway. But I need to know more about you than you know about yourself for me to really help you. But then I got to also get you to trust me. The biggest thing is, it's the most fundamental thing in basketball: dribble, pass, shoot. If I can get you to do those three things at elite level, I know I can help you. The other thing is the buy-in from you and your family. Most times you get guys that come in and want to train, and their parents still trying to coach them and train them on the side. So it doesn't really help you in terms of the development, because one of your ears over here and the other one's with me, and I'm supposed to be the person to help you. And my job is only to take you to a place where you can't take yourself. That's it.
Now, I know we got to wrap this up, Coach, so I just want to ask you, just to end it off, what's some of your advice for people that's trying to be a coach, trying to be a ball player, and just like your biggest life advice just for anybody trying to come up and be the next Corey Frazier?
Don't be the next Corey Frazier. Be the best version of yourself, man, because I think you can take a lot from me, but there's other guys you can learn from in this game. I have a unique situation because I'm probably more passionate about development than I am coaching, believe it or not. So I really believe that if I can develop you off the court in terms of not worrying about the game, then the game is going to come a lot easier. So the little things take care of itself. So success is in the details. And if you want to be an aspiring coach, you got to know who you're coaching. You got to love who you're coaching. And you got to take that home with you and be involved with that after they leave. So it can't just be when you show up. It's got to be before you get there. Players, you got to love the game more than you love anything else. If you don't love the game more than anything else, then you don't love it enough. So if you just like basketball, don't expect to be successful. You gotta love it.
Gotcha. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, y'all. And I just want to say we appreciate you just for letting us be in the facility, coming out here to Atlanta. Shout out Corey Frazier, big time, OTE, RWE. When I say hospitality has been A1, and there's somebody from back at the crib that's just showed a lot of love. We appreciate him and forever grateful, Coach. So we thank you. Thank you for being a part of Off the Rip. We out, y'all. Appreciate you, boss, man, for real.
Anytime.
No, that was smooth.